Now we move on to our second leading story. South Sudanese President Salva Kiir on Thursday accused Sudan of being a source of weapons fueling the brutal civil war in his country. Mr. Kirr said this as he met Omar al-Bashir during his two-day visit to Khartoum. Tens of thousands of people have been killed in South Sudan's civil war that erupted in December 2013, less than 3 years after it gained independence from the north. Since then, ties between Khartoum and Juba have remained tense amid border disputes and mutual allegations of supporting rebels in each other's countries.
At the same time, tension was palpable on Saturday in the capital of South Sudan, Juba, where many of the inhabitants remained cooped up among themselves, while dozens of soldiers surrounded the residence of the former Chief of Army, Paul Malone, to disarm his bodyguards. This deployment was confirmed by the spokesman of the president, that is Salva Kiir, Ateni Wek, who assured that the situation was normal and that the army was doing a routine job. Now, according to an order signed last Monday by President Kiir, the army disarmed the bodyguards of Paul Malone, who was recently fired. Now joining us online is Mabio Garang, National Chairman for Information of the SPLM IO East Africa.
Hello,
Mabio. The South Sudan president was in Khartoum last week for talks with his counterpart. Do you think that the talks will put an end to the crisis?
L'ampleur de cette crise dans le pays et entre les deux pays.
We don't really understand these agreements, but what is happening is that the agreement that could have saved South Sudan is the agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, which is collapsed in July 2016. And so within that agreement, in Chapter 4 of the agreement and other chapters of the agreement, it was laid out how negotiated in Addis Ababa for 2 years of how to take care of the security issues in the country, economic reforms, justice and accountability, and all these things. And so the peace collapsed in July, and nothing has been done ever since. And so until we get back to what made the agreement collapse, I doubt that there will be any kind of peaceful situation in the country.
The disagreement between Kirr and Bashir is what sparked the crisis that has killed hundreds and forced thousands out of their homes. Now, with elections being planned for next year, the UN says the civil war could deepen. Do you see any chances for a smooth election process?
Pensez-vous qu'un processus électoral calme et paisible et libre soit possible au Soudan du Sud?
Definitely not. Apart from the disagreement, the alleged disagreement between President Salva Kiir and our chairman, Dr. Riek Machar, that is a minor issue. The bigger issue is the animosity that has been created among the people. And the war which is going on has displaced, you could say, over half of the population is either in refugee camps in neighboring countries or displaced internally within displaced camps of United Nations protection of civilian camps. So, and then there's a war going on. So, like, it is just fake. I don't understand how an election can be possible under such circumstances, unless it is just to gain some kind of legitimacy, which the president has lost, because the president is not a legitimate president. So it will just serve the purpose of legitimizing a dictatorship, but it will not be really a genuine democratic process.
You represent the young leadership in South Sudan. Do you still feel the hope and enthusiasm you had in 2011 when the country attained its independence?
En avoir en 2011 au moment de l'indépendance du pays.
Personally, I do, because we understand what is going on right now in terms of what the government is doing, and it is not something which is in the people of South Sudan to want to fight each other. This is something that is deliberately being done by the Council of Elders, the Gen Council of Elders, and the President. And so we are resisting this, and I have faith in this resistance, because the people of South Sudan are slowly coming to realize that the dictatorship is trying to destroy the country. And so in the beginning, after the massacre of the loyal people in 2013, which sparked in December 2013, which sparked the war, it was predominantly, the movement was predominantly a loyal movement. But as time went by and the government showed its colors more and more people have been joining the movement. And so I have confidence that we shall mobilize our people. We shall mobilize the opinion of our people to join the movement, and we have the capacity to bring peace as a movement, because everybody else outside of South Sudan will look at peace in South Sudan within the scope of their own interests. But it is only the people of South Sudan who can bring peace that is in the interest of people of South Sudan. So as we go along trying to bring peace, if friends of South Sudan want to help us in the peace process, we are ready for any assistance. But the responsibility of bringing peace is primarily on people of South Sudan, and I have confidence in people of South Sudan that they will bring peace to the country by any means.
Thank you, Mabir. Now, that was Mabir Garang, the National Chairman for Information of SPLM-IO East Africa.
De libération du Soudan du Sud en opposition.
Many thanks indeed. You can visit our website, www.africanews.com, to catch all of the latest news stories right there, and also watch our programs. And also you can tweet at us at Africanews and at AfricaNewsFR in French. There you can give us your reactions to the stories that we bring to you using the hashtag TMC, that is hashtag TMC, which stands for The Morning Call. Now, still to come on the program, Barbara Lundu comes in to join us here in the studio to bring us This Is Culture. Plus, we have the latest from business and sports, all of that and more when we return after the break. Stay with us. Hanan and I will be right back.